So in this exploration of the galactic consciousness, it is really important that you are willing to know something greater, willing to know something greater. That's what this is really about. So I am honored to be here with you. We're going to go ahead and jump into our calendar reading for the day, for the plasma. And it's important to recognize that we are in the year of the red cosmic moon, the red cosmic moon. In our lesson tonight, I'm going to take you through lesson 3, of course, of the introduction to galactic consciousness. And we're going to be talking about the Tolkien, and also I'm going to share with you some preliminaries on the 1320. And that is to give us a broader view and explanation of why it's important to shift our calendar. Okay, the 13 moon peace synchronometer is the calendar that we use. And we'll talk about why. First and foremost, we want to give our prayer to the 7 galactic directions. The 7 galactic directions. And we open. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunab Ku'u, Eva Maya Emaho, Ayum Hunab Ku'u, Eva Maya Emaho, Ayum Hunab Ku'u, Eva Maya Emaho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. We greet you on this Kin 153 as I scroll to our solar moon. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. This is the solar moon. It is the 9th moon. Kin 135. Did I say 153? Okay. Kin 135 is where we are have transited on this plasma gamma. And for those of you who may be first time seeing this expression of what a calendar looks like, it is 28 days in every moon. We don't say calendar, we say moon. And when I go through the 1320 preliminaries, you'll have a deeper grasp of what we're talking about. And on today, Kin 135, we are going to read the affirmation or oracle for the day. It is the blue overtone eagle, the blue overtone eagle. I empower in order to create. Commanding mind, I seal the output of vision with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of abundance. Blue overtone eagle, Kin 135, plasma gamma. I empower in order to create, commanding mind. I seal the output of vision with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of abundance. Blue overtone eagle, kin 135. Gamma plasma. I empower, we empower in order to create, commanding mind. We seal the output of vision with the overtone tone of radiance. We are guided by the power of abundance. We are transiting the wave spell of the blue monkey, which represents magic, play, and illusion. And on this wave spell for this plasma, the overtone, we take command and gather resources. We are situated in the overtone tower to take command. That is the wave spell, and we'll be talking more about that as we move forward. Important for us to know who we are, where we are, and most importantly, when we are, because we've been following a false calendar, The lesson for today is lesson 3, the Tzolk'in. Now, that is pronounced with a D, the Tzolk'in, okay? And it is let's see if I can give you another picture of it. Okay, there we go. So this is what it looks like. And for those of you, if you have not downloaded your calendar, your Introduction to Galactic Consciousness workbook, you're going to want to go to the website and do that. And I'll give that information to you in just a bit. All right. Before we go into the lesson, I want to share with you the 1320 preliminaries, why the calendar is important. Before I talk to you about the Tzolk'in, which is the harmonic module of the measurement of plasmas. 13 moon, 28 day synchronometer is a perpetual harmonic calendar. It is called the moon calendar because it is based on the female 28-day menstruation cycle, which is also the average lunar cycle. The moon goes around the earth 13 times in 1 year. This means that the 13 moon calendar is a solar lunar calendar that measures the earth's orbit around the sun by the epsidial lunation cycle of 28 days. 13 perfect months of 28 days equals 52 perfect weeks of 7 days equals 364 days. The 365th day is called the day out of time because it is no day of the week or month at all. This day, which falls on the Gregorian correlate date of July 25th, is the day for forgiveness and the artistic celebration of life and freedom. The synchronization or New Year's date of the 13 moon calendar is July 26 and corresponds to the rising of the great star Sirius. This makes the 13 moon calendar a tool for harmonizing ourselves with the galaxy. Of course, the 13 moon calendar also synchronizes the phases of the moon in a pattern that demonstrates its regularity and order. The principle of multiple calendar coordination is achieved by 13 moon 28-day calendar. The principle of multiple calendar coordination is achieved by the 13 moon 28-day calendar, which synchronizes the Dolken, the Maya long count, the lunar calendars, and the Gregorian calendar. In addition, various tools exist to introduce the human intelligence to higher levels of the synchronic order, including the dream spell, the Telektanon, the 20 tablets of the law of time, the Renri project, and the dynamics of time, the mystery of the stone, the Moab, the wisdom cycles, and the correct laws of thought. Many of these practices are contained here in the Master Synchronic Code Book. So that's where this information comes from. And we won't go into the dream spell and the journey of Time Ship Earth just yet. But I wanted to give some background of why it's necessary, why we are shifting the calendar, or what the calendar is at least. All right, so let's jump into our lesson, Introduction to Galactic Consciousness. And again, if you have not downloaded this material, let me just shift the share on the screen for one moment here and take you to the site. All right, this is where you'll want to go. I will put it in the chat. Let me copy it. Okay, and this is the website, and it is the official website for the Introduction to Galactic Consciousness through the Oneness Wellness Institute. All right, and you'll see here a place where you can actually enroll for the program. The materials are free, okay? They don't cost anything. The course itself, if you are a serious student and you're wanting to have more than just this conversation at 1111, is $28.91. So if you're a serious student and you want to really know how to operate in the 13 moon calendar, I'm available to assist you. Okay. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat. This is again the website where you can access the 13 moon calendar, and also you can download the Introduction to Galactic Consciousness if you don't already have it. These are your materials. And for the coaching on the 13 moon calendar, on this Introduction to Galactic Consciousness, the Cosmocentric View, it is $28.91, and you can register for that on that link. All right, lesson 3, the Dolken. Now that we have learned the basics of the 20 solar seals, okay, we remember that, right? This is the 20 solar seals. Okay, that was lesson 2. We can see how they fit into the 260-day Dolken cycle. The Dolken possesses its own unique vibration and is a bridge to the higher dimensions of consciousness and being. It contains the vibrational signature of the fifth force, an interdimensional force that holds the different dimensions of reality together. It is the fifth force because it is beyond the 4 forces of physics: electromagnetic, gravitational, weak, and strong. All of life in the galaxy is synchronized according to the fractal ratios of the galactic fifth force, G-force. Engaging the daily codes brings us into resonance with this galactic interdimensional force. Let me say that again. Let me read that again to you. Engaging, keyword, engaging the daily codes brings us into resonance with this galactic interdimensional force. We are multidimensional beings. You are a multidimensional being, and being focused on and intentional about engaging these daily codes will cause you to resonate with the galaxy. And that is part of the purpose of this entire cosmocentric view conversation. The 260 kin or day cycle correlates with the 365-day cycle of the 13-moon calendar and creates a cycle of 18,980 days, or 52 years, during which no 2 days repeat. This is called the solar galactic cycle. Study the Dolkin. Note it has 20 vertical seals. So we're familiar with the seals now, right? So we see the seals running down the left-hand side. We see the seals running down the left-hand side. And it has 13 horizontal tones. So the tones are important. Here are the vigesimal tones, right? 1 through 13. We talked about the vigesimal count as opposed to the decimal count in a previous lesson. So go back and look at that. This is the 13 tones. And so today, when we looked at the kin for this plasma, we said it is blue overtone eagle. So where is blue overtone eagle? Here's the eagle, and here's kin 135, and it is a bar, which means it's 5, kin 135. So I've just shared with you how to locate the current kin on the Dolkin, okay? And what is that? It's a vertical and horizontal coordinates between the tone, the solar seal itself, and the tone, okay? The tone's going across, and the tone, and we find it here at 135. It is a significant tool to track fractal time. Locate today's kin on the Dolkin matrix, then locate your galactic kin number on the Dolkin matrix. So what is your galactic kin number? You would have to know your galactic signature. And if you have not decoded your birth date into your galactic signature, that is one of the first things we did in lesson one. You can go to the lawoftime.org, lawoftime.org. All this material is there, and there is a link there for you to decode your birthday. And there's also a chart. There's also a chart so that you can do it longhand. You can actually figure it out through the numbers as opposed to just punching it in and letting the computer tell you, because the machine is wrong sometimes. All right, just want to let you know that, right? So I want you to note that the shortest cycles are the 4-day cycles, of which there are 65. 4 times 64, 4 times 65 is 260. The largest cycles are 65-day cycles, of which there are 4. The 4-day cycle is called a harmonic and always begins on a red day and concludes on yellow. The 65-day cycle is known as a galactic season, and we'll get to that in lesson 20 for more information on the seasons. So for now, in this lesson, study the Dolkin, study this calendar count, all right? I'm going to share a little bit more information with you regarding it as we talk about dimensions. We talk about dimensions. The Dolkin is based on 13 vertical columns, with the 7th being the unmirrored, the place of the origin of spirit. So here's a different view. Okay, here's a different view. And you can see up top here, 1 through 13, okay? And it's showing you the dimensions. So there are 13 dimensions related to those 13 tones that we talked about. And the first 6 dimensions you see here, 7 is unmirrored, and 8 through 13 mirror 1 through 6. So let's dive into this a little bit. Each of the 13 dimensions are reflected in the Dolken. The module of the Dolken is held together by a matrix of 52 galactic activation portals, gaps, arranged on a lattice of 20 horizontal rows. So that's what you see here in the black. Those are what we call gaps, galactic activation portals. There are no gaps in the 7th column. This column is a resonant channel or radial speaking tube. Study the symmetrical pattern of the gaps on each side of the 7th column. These constitute an index of polarity with varying degrees of electrical charges. The first 6 dimensions, by analogy, are the first 6 columns, and columns 13 through 8 mirroring columns 1 through 6. Construct an alternate universe. An alternate universe. In the Dolken, the columns have charges in the positions that are analogous to the dimensions they represent. In the first dimension column, there is a charge in the first and last position. So what do we mean when we say charge? It's black here on the first position, right? And there's a gap here, it's black there, first and last positions, okay? In the second dimension column, there is a charge in the second and the second to last position, and so on up the chart. So you can see the difference, okay? So the first dimension is the first position and the last position. The second dimension is the second position and the second from the bottom, the second from the last position, all right? And it goes along that pattern over to the 7th, and then the mirroring dimensions repeat the pattern. The third dimension also has joint charges in the 10th and 11th positions, indicating this is the dimension of charged substance or matter, while the 4th and 5th, with 2 extra charges, each show the charge separating and the matter becoming more etheric, all right? So when we look at the third column, okay, this is a column of the material. This is 3D. In 4D, all the charges are separated. More etheric in the 4th and 5th. The 6th dimension has 10 charges in sequence, 6 through 15, which is where the electronic fluid interact to create super light intensization streams. The 7th dimension is the center where all charges emanate. They come from the 7th dimension, but with no electrical densities. The 1st and 2nd dimensions have 2 charges each. 3rd and 4th and 5th dimension each have 4 charges. These complex charges create life. Viewing the Dolken in this way as an index of the ratios or the electronic intensity of the different dimensions is a way of engaging the imaginal realm in a simultaneous multi-dimensional comprehension of cosmic reality. So I know that was like deep, deep, heavy, heavy, right? It's for your study. It's for study. So again, let's look at this. The Dolken 1320 matrix as a multi-dimensional template. To the left, you have the 7-dimensional universe of creation cycle. To the right, you have your mirror universes. Mirror dimensions, alternative universes, operate simultaneous to seven-dimensional creation cycle universe. Telepathically accessible for paranormal harmonic resonance and resolution. So I wanted to expand this conversation about the Dolken. Here we have the preliminary, we have the basics. Here we have the basics. So first, what do we want to do? Learn your 20 solar seals. Know them by name and color. Know them by name and color. Next, engage yourself with the 13 tones. The 13 tones represent 13 dimensions. 13 dimensions. 13 dimensions of your life. Of your life that you're living every single moment simultaneously. Simultaneously. Engaging them daily puts you in the interdimensional force, the galactic interdimensional force. So before we conclude, I want to go to talk to you a little bit more about the calendar, the 28-day calendar. So we say there's two calendars. Yes, there are two calendars. There's your 28-day calendar, which is what we're scrolling through right now. And then there is the Dolken, which we just learned about in lesson 3. So here, this is a quote by Jose Arguelles on a treaty on time. Just as air is the atmosphere of the body, so time is the atmosphere of the mind. If the time in which we live consists of uneven months and days regulated by mechanized minutes and hours, that is what becomes of our mind, a mechanized irregularity. Since everything flows from mind, it is no wonder that the atmosphere in which we live daily becomes more polluted. And the greatest complaint is, I just don't have enough time. Who owns your time owns your mind. Own your own time and you will know your own mind. The 13 moon calendar is not just a count of days, but a synchronic frame of reference for tracking patterns of synchronicity. Consider the following precept of the law of time. Time is of the mind. Time is the evolution of consciousness. Time is the universal factor of synchronization. Time is art. There are 5 keys to the synchronic order. Natural mind meditation. Set aside time each day to practice relaxing the mind into its natural state. Allow your thoughts to dissolve with your out-breath. Not only does this make you feel more calm and centered, it also creates a peaceful anchor to offset the fast-paced world. The natural mind meditation can be found through a link on the Oneness Wellness Institute Cosmocentric View link that I sent you. You want to know exactly how to do it. It's an eyes open meditation, and we'll process through that in one of the lessons. Work each day to turn negatives into positives. Our challenge at this time is to remain focused on the world we wish to create. Everything serves to further. Our vibrations affect the whole. Okay? So concentrate, focus on, turn all negatives into positives. 13 moon calendar, contemplate the energy of the daily galactic signature. This equips you with a cosmic lens to view daily life events. And I'll tell you from personal experience, I've been tracking the calendar since 2009 and have come into as a student, mind you, as a student, have come into a greater understanding of the process because I engage daily all the time. And so when we contemplate the energy of the daily galactic signature, this equips us with the cosmic lens, right? The cosmocentric view of the daily events. So you say, well, what is the daily galactic signature? We read it 3 times. Kin 135, blue overtone eagle. I empower in order to create. Commanding mind, I seal the output of vision with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of abundance. Okay. I will share with you that the words on the page do not correlate to the language that we have learned. We're learning a new language, a new cosmocentric language. So the words that you see there as you begin to have more understanding through study, through practice, you begin to notice and see that the words mean something different than we've been taught. Keep a synchronicity journal. The more you focus on synchronicities, the more they increase. So how would you like your life to be such that everything that is happening in your life is happening in synchronicity and totally lined up with what you have imagined for your life? That's what's possible here. That's where you're going. Not only is it possible, that's how this works. And then form a synchronicity study group. Share synchronicities, activate new cosmic dialogue, and share your highest dreams. Anchor a new consciousness on earth. That's what this is about. That's what this is about, starting with us as individuals. So for this evening, as we are transiting in the 4th watch to the 1st watch and moving into the Kin 136, Yellow Rhythmic Warrior, on Kali Plasma, on what we would call tomorrow, okay? It happens 1st watch, which means midnight. The energy shifts. The electrical energies shift, and being aware of that puts you in perfect contact with when you are, right? So remember I said it's important to know who you are, where you are, and when you are. That is important. All right, so I'm Shifat Ali, and it's my pleasure to bring you the 28-day galactic introduction to galactic consciousness. Use it. Use it. This is a tool. If you're not using your 13 moon calendar on a daily basis, you are shorting yourself. You are shorting yourself because there's magic here. And when I say magic, it just means that you have the ability, we have the ability to plug into what's happening in the galaxy. We are galactic beings. We just happen to live on Earth, right? Our planetary home is Earth. But Earth is in the galaxy. It just makes sense when you expand your thinking, expand your mind to understand where you are. And the calendar tells you when you are. When, what dimension are we activating, operating in a certain kin, on a certain day, on a certain kin, in a certain plasma? Why are things happening the way that they are? And if your life is not going in the way that you would like it to go, it's because you don't have it in synchronicity. You don't have it in synchronicity. And I'll share with you that sometimes the way that we think that it's supposed to go is not the way at all. It's not the way at all. And so we fight and we struggle and we hustle and we do all the things that we think we're supposed to do, going in the wrong direction. It's preordained. You're not here by accident. Your life is not a mistake. You don't have to really figure it out. What we need to do is just plug into the plan. And you find the love of your life. You find the work that is fulfilling, that brings peace, love, and harmony to the planet and to everyone that you meet. And it will help you to disengage. It helps us to disengage from the mechanical world, the industrialized world, the world that is tied to historical materialism, that has us, our only focus is chasing money every single day, which makes it an idol. So with that, we want to turn all the negatives into positives, and I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to remain focused on the world that you want to create, right? A million dreams. What are your dreams? What are your dreams? Write them in your journal and watch synchronicities occur that start bringing them into your life. I'm Shifa Ali, and it's my pleasure to, as I said, it's really an honor to be here with you on this evening, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to give into your life experience. Have a wonderful, restful night, and remember that you're more awake when you're asleep than you are when you are awake. It's the fourth dimension. Have a good night. We will see you again on the next Plasma, 1111. Peace, love, and prosperity. Good night.